I've been in and out of prison pretty much my whole adult life. 5 years here, 8 years here, 2 years, 1 year. And so basically it started probably at a young age, going through issues at family life, stepdad, stepmom, just didn't want to do the right thing, kind of rebelling. I think at 17 years old, I was given the opportunity to either get treatment as far as like psychological treatment or be on my own. And I was 16. So at 17, you're considered a legal adult. So at 17, I was like, man, I'm not going to be locked away anywhere under anybody's supervision. Just let me go. So when I was 17, they dropped me off at the Salvation Army in downtown Dallas. And that's kind of where it all started. Just my life, living on the streets for a couple months. Salvation Army, actually having to sleep on the street. Kind of just progress into, trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, you're so young and you don't really know which way to go, than just doing the wrong thing because it's just easier. My mom had told my stepdad, hey, he's going to come home. I don't care what you think. It's either going to be him or a relationship. So I was allowed to come back to the house, where I continued to go down the wrong path until probably about like 18. I kind of started venturing out on my own. And it never really was like drugs then. But as it progressed in the age, methamphetamines was in the picture. And I liked getting high and I liked partying. But at the same time, I was kind of like, want to do my own thing. So, you go to jail for writing bad checks. Then you get out of that. Then I'm driving through Dallas, Collin County, and Tarrant County, which is 3 different counties with drugs. So I get pulled over and I get a charge in 3 counties for delivery of a controlled substance. So get out of that one, get on probation. Then I sell to an undercover cop. It was delivery of a simulated controlled substance, meaning not real. But if I tell you that this bag is methamphetamines to law enforcement, that's what you're charged as, a simulated controlled substance. So now I'm on probation in 3 counties, Dallas County, Collin County, Denton County, and doing that whole thing. Finally, as I progress, I just keep doing the wrong thing. So as I get older, it starts out. It's more drug involved. When I had got arrested this last time, I was dropping off I think 2 ounces of ice to a dude at the Walmart parking lot in Houston, and this is a guy that I had sold to before. Well, evidently he had been working for a task force or whatever, and so he called me, and I never want to go to this part of town because of the area it is. It's like the counties broke up with certain agencies, So I just know that that's like a bad area. And I'm at the mall, so meet me at the mall. And he's like, oh man, can you please come to the Walmart? So as soon as I pull up to the Walmart, I see these cars coming. And at that point, I knew that we were going to get pulled over. So we get pulled over. And I just kind of, I guess I was relieved that it was finally over, So as soon as I get back in the police car, I just fell asleep, went to sleep. Now I know that there's nothing I can do. I can't get out. So once I got to the jail, I think my charges were felony evading, motor vehicle. Then I put some dope in a gas tank on my motorcycle. So they charged me with that. And they charged me 1 to 4 grams. And then I had a federal hold for, I think, over 200 grams of methamphetamines. I think it was like 2 or like 400 or something. And at that point, I knew that there wasn't going to be a way to bond out. So it's just kind of like, what do you do from there? I think, most people that do drugs and on a personal level, they don't carry pounds of ice with them. You know, I used to have my friends come over and they'd be like, "Hey, what's up? Let's party." And I'm like, "We can party." You know what I'm saying? I got, what's up, 7 ounces here. But so when you're living that type of lifestyle over and over and over again, like you sleep when you're forced to sleep and you're up all the time, eventually your body just crashes. You know, it's had enough. So the day I went to jail, I slept for probably like almost a week straight, getting up, eating, and going back to sleep.
What got you introduced to meth, and how did the addiction to it progress?
Well, I guess probably when I was in my early 20s, my drug of choice was cocaine. And I had a friend who lived in Houston, and he sold ice, but he also sold cocaine. So I would go up there, drive to Houston from Dallas, and pick up ounces of coke. But while I was up there, I'd hang out with him for a little bit and party and get high. And I'm just like, man, I really like the way this feels. So that's where it started. And then it was, well, my girlfriend at the time was like, don't bring that stuff here. But it was okay to bring cocaine home, but I couldn't bring ice. So I'd stop off at a hotel room, you know, smoke 2 grams of ice and stay up for 2 or 3 days in the hotel room and then go home. And then it just progressed every time I go. Finally, I moved to Houston. So now it's like, there ain't no more cocaine. It's smoke ice now. It's sell ice. So he's the one that really got me introduced to it because he sold it. But it was just kind of like, 10 years ago, methamphetamine's way different than what it is now, you know? So it's just, back then it's way stronger, you know? And so just being able to feel the effects of what it was doing to me just was like a turn on for me. It's addicting immediately. You know, it's not something most people will be like, hey, I'm just going to use it on Friday. You know, because Friday turns in, you're still up Saturday. Sunday, you know you got to go to work. And then, you know, Monday you miss work. And so for me, it's just addicting immediately. Like I said, I was always forced myself to sleep when my body would shut down. So it could be I'm driving down the road and my body, I fall asleep. And before you know it, you're in the field in your car. And you're like, man. You know, I remember many times like I'd be coming back from somewhere and I'd stop and get two Red Bulls and a gallon of water and pour the water all over me. Turn the AC on full blast and roll the windows down, trying to keep myself alert to drive home from wherever I was.
What was being in prison like? As
you go to more stricter units, that's when the game changes. You know, it's more gang involved. It's more like, hey, who you riding with type thing. What are you willing to do for us? What this is what we're gonna do for you type thing. So, you know, like when I was in the feds, it's more drugs, alcohol, you know, cell phones, but it's also like you're gonna put in work there. There's gonna be violence all the time. I was at USP Atlanta. This is not United States prison in Atlanta. It's ran as a medium, but the whole time I was there, we were on lockdown. Majority of the time from people getting stabbed, fights, deaths over, you know, drugs, debts. You know, it was crazy. Some places that they require you to, when you wake up in the morning, your feet have to hit the floor. You have to be dressed and ready. You know, just something happens. Violence is prone in prison. You know, it's just when you got guys living together all the time, there's going to be violence. There's going to be fights. It's just how it is. You know, I don't think, you know, you're going to go to prison and just going to be hang out and, you know, there's going to be violence. There's going to be deaths, especially in the federal system. You know, it's just too overpopulated, and it's just a really stressed out environment.
How does your life today compare to your life in the past?
My life is different. Like now, everything that I have, I've paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that I've done so far since I've been out has been by my own actions. Like not selling drugs, you know, bought a car, paid cash. I mean, I bought a lawnmower the other day. to mow my lawn. You know, I mean, I would have never done that back in the day. I wouldn't even thought about. I probably would have had somebody come mow it. You know, but everything that I've purchased over the last, I guess, 9 months, I've worked hard for. You know, and so it's like, hey, going to your boss, man, hey, look, man, I'm fixing to move into a house. I need as much overtime as I can. So I was working like 85 hours. You know, I think I made like $7,000 in a month, and all that went to this place. You know, so when I come home now, at the end of the day, I don't have to worry about, is the police looking at my house? Are they behind me? Am I going to get pulled over? What happens if they run my tags? Now when I come home and I can chill in my own house, watch my 70-inch TV on the wall, you know, lay in my brand new bed, cook in my kitchen. You know, I don't have to worry about all the things I worried about then.
What led up to the moment that turned your life around, and how do you stay in recovery?
Really what made me be done is going to prison this last time. You know, at this point, it's like, you're not getting out. You know, you can't bond out. There's nothing for you to do to get out, you know? So now you gotta just kind of figure it out from there. I think my sober date would be September 14th, 2016, something like that. 2015, I can't remember exactly, but at this point, there's not really that desire to get high, to have fun, to party. You know, my life is like, you know, I've been married twice. I got 5 kids. My son passed away while I was gone. You know, mom being sick, dad, you know, just the whole life. It's like, I don't have any more chances. I don't have any more options. If I don't get it right this time, then I could potentially lose, and probably would lose, everything that I've built up so far. I mean, like, some people, like, you know, these younger guys, they might have another run in them, but there's not any more runs in me. You know, it's just like, if I have more runs, then I don't have to do it on my own. You know, having that support, financial support, or just emotional support from your family after you've ran them through the mud over and over again, it just ain't gonna be there. I try to surround my life around people that don't use, period. And if you're in a position to where I think you're using, then I just cut my ties with you. You know, if you want to be sober, then we can hang out. But, like, you know, just being gone all this time, this last time when I went to the feds, I'm not really accustomed to, like, hanging out with a bunch of people. You know, I'm just not sure, like, what are these people doing? Who are they? You know, what's their story? You know, I just don't want to be caught in the crossfire if they're doing something stupid and then I go to jail because I'm hanging out with the wrong person. Well, I mean, my kids are still, all my kids are alive except my son. And they're, you know, are giving me this opportunity to be a different person. So I feel like if I go back the opposite way now, I'm just giving more ammunition to, like, the people that know that, okay, he's gonna fail, you know? And so now it's like, my kids are my motivation, my relationships motivation, the people in my life, you know, are my motivation. My dad, you know, we have a really, really good relationship. As before, our relationship was destroyed because of my habits. My mom, you know, she's such a huge support. And, you know, my dad, just everybody that knows I'm doing the right thing. And my sister says, like, I never knew you were so funny. I was like, well, because I'm sober now. You know, I'm not high on methamphetamines, you know, 2 weeks at a time. And so kids, family, you know, is a good motivation, I think.
Hey guys, it's Sherry. At Cornbread Hustle, we help people coming out of prison and people in recovery find meaningful employment. Head to our website and check out our jobs, or follow us on social media. See you in the next video.